Tisch Sussman, Republican strategist and MSNBC political analyst Susan Del Percio, and MSNBC legal analyst Danny Savalos. Thank you guys for being with us on a mega day today, from impeachment to the debates. Susan, I'm going to start with you. The supreme goal for every single Democrat on that stage tonight is to beat President Trump. How do they best use the impeachment inquiry to their advantage?
I think they talk about Trump's history as using people, and in this case government resources, to enhance his own political career. I think they have to be very narrow and not get too into the weeds in it, because it's overwhelming so many other things, and it won't differentiate one from the other, because they're all going to say, yes, Donald Trump's horrible and he should be impeached. Or maybe some of the senators will say no, they're just going to be a witness. But either way, I think they have to really try not to get too much into the weeds on this.
All right, so Emily, let me ask you about this. If this impeachment inquiry heads to the Senate, several of the candidates on the stage will be or could be part of the trial. Polls show that Americans are still divided on impeachment. Do the candidates need to tread lightly here?
Oh, I don't think they need to tread lightly. I mean, if it ends up going into the Senate, I actually think it provides an opportunity for some of the senators to have a moment to show that they actually can be thoughtful and decisive and come down hard on the president in ways that actually the Kavanaugh hearing had provided for Senator Harris and Booker and Klobuchar, actually, in ways that actually could help them, because the debate stage has been so narrow, their time is so limited, that it's really been hard for them to differentiate themselves, especially because they're having to respond to questions instead of asking questions, which can be great moments for them in the Senate.
Danny, you've been with me, God, it seems like weeks now, but it's been about a week or so.
Quite a tour, Danny.
It's been amazing. You covered the impeachment hearings today for us. Did the Democrats make their case today?
It's hard to say, depending on who you ask. Some Republicans thought that Gordon Sondland was such an unreliable witness that his testimony was anything but blockbuster. But Democrats would point out that this was the connection to Donald Trump. Witnesses before, maybe they operated on hearsay, maybe they didn't know all the facts, but Gordon Sondland, Democrats will say, knew President Trump personally, had communications with him, and he's changed his testimony to more fit what the Democrats' theory of the case is. And to be specific, Gordon Sondland now says there was a quid pro quo. But Democrats don't rejoice yet, because a quid pro quo is not necessarily a complete admission of responsibility of something wrong. As many Republicans have taken the position, there are many quid pro quos in foreign policy. And you have to ask, well, wait, was this a quid pro quo for an investigation of corruption generally? Was it a Burisma? And if it was a Burisma, the company, does that mean it's just as bad as an investigation of Hunter Biden? And if it's of Hunter Biden, is that still something that the president may have the authority to do?
Anything you would have wanted either the Democrats or the Republicans to do differently today?
Well, but that's a tough question. Anything to do
How much time do you have?
Whatever the Republicans did, the Democrats did the mirror opposite of it. But I have to say there were a couple inconsistencies I wanted to figure out. And to put it very briefly, Kurt Volker said when he got the directive, go talk to Rudy Giuliani, they took it like, he's saying if you don't believe me, ask Rudy Giuliani. Then today you hear a completely different story. You hear Sondland saying, no, that was a direct order. That was like Colonel Jessup and A Few Good Men. I ordered the code red. Go do it. When I give an order is followed. And that was a discrepancy I felt like I didn't get a lot of explanation for.
But I kind of wonder, like, you have the legal point of view, which I wouldn't even think about disagreeing with. But on the political, well, I'm not a lawyer, but on the political scope, I think at the end of the day, the problem is nothing's changed. I think that President Trump will be impeached. As of now, I have not seen something that would cause 20 Republican senators to vote to remove him from office. Right now, the argument will move to, okay, so he did it. So he did it. Now, we may all think, or I don't want to speak for anyone, like, that's a really bad thing he did. Yeah. Especially if he admits it. Like, that's really bad, and he shouldn't be serving. And more people will say there's an election in less than a year. Why not let the voters decide? They put him in, let them take him out. But Chuck Todd did say something interesting on that segment before. He said, will they continue to follow the breadcrumbs? And I think because the outcome right now is so cut and dry, they should keep following the breadcrumbs, because that can potentially change the outcome. Let's not forget, when it came to Bill Clinton, that investigation started about a real estate deal. It ended in a blue dress. You don't know where these go.
But I will tell you where I actually think did change it. It's two words. It's Kentucky and Louisiana. That Trump went full in to campaign for the Republican gubernatorial candidates there, and they still lost. And I think that's the bigger deal for the senators, not the fact that they have already, they've made their bet. They've tied themselves to him. They are saying among themselves, they are saying to reporters, they have not heard anything that changes their opinion that makes them think that what he did was unseemly.
Well, anyone who thinks that Donald Trump is going to use his coattails to help someone else hasn't been watching the results. I agree.
All right, we got to wrap it there, guys, but keep following the breadcrumb seems to be the takeaway today.